the American-US election taking place on the 5th of November. All right, and so as we keep up with that US election, what is at stake, especially for Africa, with Donald Trump pushing an American-first policy, but Kamala looking like she could be willing to have alliances with the African continent? That's what we're unpacking tonight on Unpacked. Let's take a look. Let's talk about the 2024 U.S. presidential election.
If Kamala gets if she gets 4 more years, the world goes up in smoke.
Donald Trump has proven himself to be increasingly unstable and unfit.
She will not be your first female president.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
Kamala's never gonna beat me in November. Donna's gonna make the country better than you can remember.
The election isn't just about who leads the U.S. The choices made by American voters could set new dynamics for the future of international relations. With the race heating up between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, the stakes are high. On November 5th, Americans in all 50 states will cast their ballots, choosing electors who will ultimately decide the next president and vice president through the Electoral College. Kamala Harris, representing the Democratic Party, brings extensive experience and a commitment to strengthening U.S.-Africa relations. Donald Trump, the Republican contender, is known for his America-first approach, which could shift U.S. interactions with Africa in different ways. Harris advocates for a collaborative approach with Africa, emphasizing partnerships in healthcare, renewable energy, and education. Trump's America-first stance emphasizes U.S. interests and could mean a more selective engagement with Africa centered around areas directly beneficial to the U.S.
Anytime a president is elected like Trump, who looks inwards, who puts the U.S. first, we see a reduction in the amount of money that is extended to other countries for investment and development. And if Kamala is elected, we will expect a continuation of the Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and even Clinton policies, whereby, there is significant support for Kenya projects, economic projects such as education, healthcare, and of course, water and sanitation.
So how does U.S. foreign policy affect Kenya?
The United States and most investment partners view Kenya as a very dynamic and stable economy within the East African region and even the continent. This relative stability attracts a lot of foreign direct investments.
In simple terms, foreign policy is a country's approach to dealing with other nations. Think of it as a guide on handling friends, frenemies, and allies. Take the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, for instance. The act lets Kenyan products enter the U.S. market with fewer tariffs, making textiles more affordable in the U.S. Imagine AGOA as a kind of VIP pass for Kenyan products to the U.S. market, allowing them to reach American shelves more easily.
That you are standing still at this moment is an extraordinary feat, given all you do.
It's the Kenyan coffee.
And it's the Kenyan coffee.
If AGOA is reconsidered under new policies, this could affect jobs and businesses back home.
The United States is actually one of Kenya's largest trading partner. In fact, we're talking about the 4th largest trading partner for Kenya and the 5th largest export destination for Kenyan goods. We're talking about an upwards of close to 6% of Kenya's total exports going to the American market. And this has, of course, seen a gradual increase since 2001 when we saw the enactment of AGOA.
The president of the United States cannot, on his own, decide to just undo AGOA. So what can happen is a reduction in the kind of support AGOA gets.
Donald Trump believes that the world has been, quote unquote, stealing from America. And his Make America Great campaign places American businesses, American interests right at the heart, at the expense of multilateral agreements that America has signed. So we could potentially see Trump pulling out.
Currently, the U.S. sees Africa as a strategic partner.
Kenya also acts as a launchpad for some of America's economic interests within the region because it acts as an entry point.
Kenya has been given a very significant upgrade in terms of the role it plays in not just, continental, but world relations. Actually, as we speak now, Ruto is considered the megaphone for American interests within the continent.
In fact, Kenya was recently designated a major non-NATO ally, a status that brings military and security benefits. That's a heavy-duty endorsement, like being the VIP guest at an exclusive party. The U.S. even backed Kenyan forces on a recent mission in Haiti.
The Haiti operation will most likely be supported by Trump because, Trump is someone who is so strongly opposed to immigrants. During the debates, of course, he made a very shameful comment about how Haitians, Asians in Springfield, Ohio, have been eating the dogs and the cats.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
If Harris wins, we may see these partnerships expand with more investment in Kenya's infrastructure, health, and education sectors.
There's been a lot of pressure on Kamala to come out clean on how she's going to handle immigration. And I think generally Americans perceive her as being weak on immigration compared to Trump.
Donald Trump, during his previous term, emphasized transactional relationships. If he wins, we might witness more cooperation around security and trade, but less emphasis on broader development. Now, there's another player in this mix. China.
China is a major development partner for Kenya. And so when we start hearing calls for de-risking, decoupling from the Chinese economy now on the western side, that is a little bit concerning because this is a country that trades significantly with Kenya.
The US and China are both investing heavily in Africa. Think of it as two competing suitors, each trying to win Africa's favor. China builds railways and highways, while the US supports tech startups and promotes democracy.
A lot of development partners allied with the West are prone to a lot of bureaucracy, and they tie their development assistance to certain democracy conditions on human rights, but we don't see that with China. And I think this has been very attractive.
This competition could influence how Kenya aligns itself with either nation, depending on the foreign policy priorities of the new US administration.
This renewed geostrategic competition is an opportunity for Kenya. It's an opportunity for Kenya and developing countries to really balance relationship in a sort of non-aligned movement while focusing on their national interests.
November 5th isn't just America's election day. It's a day the world will be watching, Kenya included. What happens in Washington could have a ripple effect on the economy, security, and global partnerships. It's a wait-and-see moment, but one that really matters.